Hello and welcome back to 16 years in Alkimbree. What a squeaky door. You find me here at the Drovers Inn on the side of Loch Lomond. Well, it's just up by the river, so I'm at the northern point of Loch Lomond. And Loch Lomond is that, long that it actually stretches further than Dover to Calais. It's amazing. And this place, I mean, look at it. Every part of it just screams spooky, and I'm going to share some spooky tales with you about this pub because it's actually Scotland's most haunted pub. I've been to the highest pub in Scotland, I've been to the oldest pub in Scotland, and now I'm here at the the most haunted part of Scotland, and it has some just fine additions to it. Absolutely. I mean, the swords are just like nothing before. The marble, the moss, the old telephone. I mean, around some archaic telephone systems, but this is archaic. And then you've got, because this is a famous hunting area, you've got all the taxidermists. And then, yeah, I swear he's looking at me. He don't like it, so I'm going to put it back on me. And then you've got these little fluffy ones down here. I'm not going to touch anything, but they're just absolutely amazing to look at, and it goes to show what actually used to live in don't worry, people coming through and they don't really want to be on camera. Yeah, and some of the stuff that used to be in this country, you can look at all the grouses and everything, I think the grouses and everything like that, and then you got Mr. Hungry here. I knocked into him too hard. Yes, I panicked then. But yeah, you've got the old eggs there, and this place is just so amazing as a time passed. Yeah, and then you come into the bar area, and I love the way they haven't reconstructed it or anything like that, apart from the fire. The fire is something else. But all these, paintings, murals on the walls, and then you come to the stories in this place. My word, I got 3 stories for you, and then one from my past. From my present actually, that's even more scarier than the rest of them. But yeah, I'm going to take a swig of my beer. Since I am in the pub. The first story comes from the late 1700s. And it's a story about a young family. In this particular time, it was classed as the Year of the Sheep. Yeah, Year of the Sheep. It was a young family that was basically moved off of their land through the landlords because they found it more profitable to be with, to start raising sheep, whatnot. So they got pushed off and they didn't know where to go. So they started to try and find themselves a new life. And as they were coming southwards towards the lowlands, I'm in the Highlands now, and the lowlands is like Glasgow and that sort of area. It came down here. They were caught in an unfortunate snowstorm, and they were looking for the Drovers Inn. Just to give you a little bit more context about the West Highland Way in this area that I'm in. Excuse me. Must stop doing that on camera. These are all the old droving paths, and that's what the West Highland Way is. It's the old droving paths where they used to drive their geese and their sheep and cattle from the Highlands down to the lowlands. But unfortunately, this young family found themselves in a snowstorm, and as they were coming down in this snowstorm, they were looking for the Drovers Inn for some overnight shelter and somewhere warm to get somewhere. And unfortunately that they took a wrong path, and they didn't get here, and they ended up freezing to death out there on the Highlands. And there's stories, and you can check it up on their on the Drovers Inn site. You can check it up with them, and there's stories of, like, from the rooms of couples being woken up, like modern day. I mean, in the past few years, being woken up by feeling freezing cold, and then looking at the edge of their beds and seeing this young family there, shivering away at the cold, and then this young boy just looking at him, smiling and waving to him like he'd actually found, the retreat of, being where he needed to be. And that's just one of the stories. Don't worry, the barman's looking out and wondering who I'm talking to. I did ask, you know, if I could do a video. You alright, buddy?
Yeah.
You want to say hello to everyone?
Hello, world.
Brilliant people here. Every time I've been to the Drovers Inn, they've just been absolutely brilliant. And then it brings on to the second story of the night, which young man called Angus that was in charge of driving the cattle down from the highlands to the lowlands. And he came into the Drovers Inn and he had too many hours, fell asleep. And when he woke up he realised he had been robbed of all his cattle and all of his crowns and shillings and everything like that. So unfortunately, by a rival clan. So unfortunately he had to go back up to his chieftain of the clan. And the chieftain, in punishing him, killed his entire family, his wife, his daughters, his mums and dads, killed a lot of them and then banished him. So Angus, being Angus, he went out, tried to find his way, didn't know what was going to do, came back to the Drovers Inn, and when he came back here, he recognised one of the rival clan members that had actually robbed him. So he sorted himself out a place to hide, and he went and hid up there, but somebody else had noticed where he had hidden as well. So like they all, basically the rival clan, everybody went out, beat him, tortured him and killed him, and there's still rumours today of wandering these halls and the rooms that are around here, of him crying out to, you know, find the rival clan, and you know, he screams of torture and anguish, and just ringing through the rooms and the corridors of this place. Yeah, I'm staying in William tonight. William's going to protect me. And then we come on to the third story of a young girl at the turn of the century. You've got the river just by us, and it's quite a calm river, but when it rains a lot, it can swell up rather quickly, as was with the case of over by Ben Glass. There's a bridge that goes over to it, and the river came up so fast that it actually broke the bridge, and that's a modern bridge. That's how quickly this river can swell. And there was a young girl with a little doll called Annabelle. Some more people coming in. Annabelle, and she was playing down by the river one day, didn't realise how quickly it swelled up, and she was lost to the river, and nobody knew straight away, but then they knew what had happened, so they went out hunting and found her poor, you know, frozen, broken body, and it was just too late. And there's been people over in room 2 specifically that have woken up. They're feeling and looking and seeing this frozen wet little princess in the middle of the bed with them, cold and freezing. And there's other reports around here that, you know, where you see Annabelle, the doll, looking to go back to the people, well, back to her master and her owner, and never being able to find her or anything like that. So that's some of the ghost stories from just this one place. You know, Scotland is an amazing place, but there's so much history and so much to do. And then you got my own personal fear, is that, you know, when you're getting lonely is when you start having dreams about getting back with your ex and making it up with your ex, you know. And of all of them stories, I think that one's going to be the one that stops me going to bed tonight. But what a brilliant place this is. Just absolutely cool. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoy the stories. Sorry I haven't been around for a couple of days, just been working things out for myself. But yeah, the adventure continues. And like I always say, take it easy, keep adventuring. Love you, bye.